Hi, I'm Shelly Johnson. I'm so glad you're here. Let's hear some words and give them space to do a work in us. This is week 2 of our series, Embracing Grace. And this week, we're going to talk about obedience, our favorite topic. And if you've read the Bible at any length, you know that God asks us to stick to his commands, to follow what he says, to obey. It's why he asked so much of those followers that first came alongside him in the Old Testament, because he needed them to learn how to follow one God, how to worship with reverence and holiness. He just had a lot to teach them. But once Jesus came, the rule following seemed to go to the wayside. Of course, Jesus said the commands have not been thrown out. He's just fulfilled the law. That we're still supposed to live by the basics. Love God, love others. That's our level of obedience as Jesus followers. As simple as it sounds, we all know how hard it is to always love God the most and to always love people. But that's what we're called to. In fact, Jesus went so far as to say very clearly, very specifically, that those who love me, obey me. But maybe if we really think about what he said in that sentence, that moment, as we start to realize he's flipped the script that so much of our thinking and behaving is based on. I think innately and through our culture, we strive a lot out of our own strength, trying to earn our way in this world. And Jesus is trying to work that out of us. He's trying to teach us a different way to live that's not striving from our own strength, that's not earning our way into his love or his goodness or just his faithfulness. Instead, he asks us to choose by faith, with grace, to obey, not to earn his love, but because we love him. Think about how that changes. Obedience is no longer meant to be a drudgery. Follow these rules, don't do these rules. Instead, he's asking us to love him, and out of that love, we'll do what he asks. So maybe some days what Jesus asks of us is to lay down our phones and pick up the Bibles, to read what he has to say or what Paul has to say, because he knows what's good for us. He knows that it's when we read what the Bible has to say, we'll get clarity, we'll get direction, we'll find the phrasing we need to finally receive the forgiveness or to offer the forgiveness we need to. We might view our situation, our circumstance, with a little more understanding and grace. Sometimes the obedience he asks of us is to love somebody who's really hard to love, or to step out of our comfort zones and introduce ourselves, or to text a friend that comes to mind. And sometimes the obedience is a little bigger than that. Maybe it is joining a church after all that we've been through. Maybe it's moving to a new town to take that new job when really fear wants to tell us not to. Obedience has a lot of different looks, but if we can remember, obedience is sourced by our love for Jesus, then we're going to be led well. So this week, let's remember that grace sources all of it. Our ability to love Jesus well, and our ability to love him enough to obey him, because we trust he's always out for our good. Let me know how I can be praying for you.